Car defects and investigations. The National Traffic and Motor Vehicle Safety Act was enacted in 1966. It gives the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, also called the NTSB, the ability to recall vehicles with safety-related defects. Over 30 million cars, trucks, buses, RVs, motorcycles, and mopeds were recalled last year, as well as 42 million car seats. They've been recalled for corrective safety related defects. Reporting the problem. The process begins with when a consumer reports the issue. The NTSB compiles filed complaints and decides whether or not the complaints are worth investigation. If there are multiple complaints about the same problem on the same vehicle, the NHTSA could open an investigation. There's an app for that. There are 4 ways to report potential safety car defects. You can call the hotline at 1-888-327-4236. You can go to safecar.gov. You can use the Safer Car app on your iPhone, and of course there's always US mail. There are multiple complaints about the same problem on the same vehicle. The NTSB will typically open an investigation, but only then. The investigative process. Step 1 is screening, and at that point they review the complaints. The Defensive Assessment Division screens reports from manufacturers and complaints from the consumer as listed in the last slide. Step 2 is petition analysis. Analysis of petitions and related recalls. Any petition that a person makes must be reviewed by either approved to investigate or denied. If it is approved, the investigation begins and the person who wrote the petition is notified. If the petition is denied, the reasons of denial are enumerated. Investigation, preliminary evaluation, and engineering analysis. Investigation, the preliminary evaluation. This process enables whether the and establishes whether the investigation will go further. PE uses complaints, crash information, warranty, etc., as well as information presented by the manufacturer in its own defense. The process lasts about 4 months. The engineering analysis is essentially a more in-depth investigation of the problem with more information and evaluation of the car with the potential defect. The aim is to complete the EA within a year, but it often takes longer if it's more involved. The EA is complete if there is no defect found. The manufacturer voluntarily completes the recall, or the NHTSA finds a defect and asks the manufacturer to complete a recall. Recall management is step 4. And they review the effectiveness of the recall, and it ensures that the recall is completed to the fullest, and they investigate to be sure that the recall shouldn't actually be increased. How the consumer comes in. The notification process. Once a manufacturer makes a recall, all consumers will be notified by first-class mail. Fixing the problem, developing the fix, and training dealers and technicians to correct the issue, and updated parts availability. These are all important. There will be a lag in training and parts availability. This can sometimes take months to remedy. The manufacturer has to re-engineer the most cost-effective solution and then mass-produce parts needed, train technicians, and train dealerships to deal with the issue. I've personally seen examples of this taking weeks. I've also seen examples of it taking months. None of this is even possible if consumers don't file complaints, though. When a recall is issued, the consumer must immediately take action to be sure that the issue is corrected to prevent further injuries and death to the general public. Is it fast enough? The entire process will take years to complete. There have been improvements in the speed, but there needs to be quite a few more. Um, the notification process can take a long time. During this process, there can be accidents and also fatalities. The NHTSA is trying to make the recall process more friendly by picking up, introducing iPhone apps and such. But long story short, the process is really not fast enough. That has been admitted, and they are figuring out ways to make it more efficient. Does the government have too much control? If the government made the recall process faster, they could have more control over the already stringent automotive industry. In the middle, both sides have the same interest in mind, but the protection of the American people. If the government were to make this process faster, more lives would be saved. If the government had less control the automobile industry, more vehicles could be made in the U.S., leading to more jobs as well as cheaper cars.